gonna regret how they treated you. Just give it time. You ever notice the people who doubt you the most are the ones that's closest to you? Your family, your friends, the ones supposed to be in your corner. Joseph had a dream, and his own brothers hated him for it. They threw him in a pit and left him for dead. But God was still working. The betrayal wasn't the end of the story. It was a setup. God used the people who hurt you to push you in rooms they could never get into themselves. So when they switch up, don't get bitter. Get focused. Because the same people who left you in the pit are going to need you when you're running the palace. And you won't have to say a word. Your life will be the loudest response.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The thoughts, views shared here are just that, views. We just conversing, sharing perspective while having fun. So don't take this shit personal, and definitely don't try this at home. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's get to it.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
What's poppin', midweek with the family. You know, I got a dope discussion for y'all, educational conversation for y'all, a few music reactions because some dope music has been released midweek too. That's what was crazy. The first topic that we're going to talk about today on this show is Glenn Plummer. You know, most people know him as OG Bobby Johnson that played in the movie South Central. He played in the movie Colors. He played in more movies too. I don't want to minimize the brother, but the conversation that we're going to have that he brought to my attention this week is that, you know, gang culture originated in Los Angeles, then it spread across the nation. Now it's spread worldwide. And I want to have a discussion about like people wanting to feel like they belong to something. That's where I want to take the conversation to. Like, why is that? And in the comment section, I want y'all to help me with that and educate me. Why do people feel the need to belong to something? And even if it's not beneficial for their life, they want to belong to it. Dame Dash crashed out reacting to Jay-Z's Freestyle at the Roots picnic, looking crazy. Nipsey Hussle's first posthumous song has been released. We're going to react to that. Ab-Soul dropped 64 bars. We're going to react to that also. I got a few more topics, you know, but I just want to get into the show. You know, this brother is from Charlotte. I think he signed to Dreamville J. Cole label still. And, you know, I'm living in Charlotte, so I want to highlight the talent and the artistry because I feel like they just, you know, just like where I'm from in Knoxville, they don't get the shine they deserve. But this brother is loot. You know what I'm saying? We done played one of his records before, but this one is called Authentic. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Since a kid, I manifested everything that's in my life. Only time I tell to make it right. Had to make some time to live my life. Still remain the same, never switch the game. Switching lanes through the city lights. Pray to Jesus Christ, I remember nights asking God, what's the key to life? On the train to Raleigh, mama used to call me. I was catching flights, missed my calling twice, but still ended up where I'm supposed to. Even lost some people I was close to. The love lost make my music soulful. When the stars align, I be in alignment. Diamond in the rough, but I'm still shining. Often blinded, heart got some flaws, but I'm still thriving. Showing up for those when I was just surviving. Showing up for those and I was just surviving. Cause I was sinking in depression, thinking damn I never rap again. And I would hit your line, not to bug you, I'm just tapping in. Hoping for some words just to get a nigga back again. Can't be transparent cause niggas treat me like that rapper friend. So who the fuck gon' say you when a nigga at his lowest end? But I seen through your rose colored lens. Niggas praying for your plight, it's kinda cringe. Shit, but still it's all love I extend. It was me, God, a couple YouTube beats in a pen. My shit was authentic, niggas wasn't riding behind no trend. Like fuck them doors that niggas wouldn't let us in. Like fuck them doors that niggas shit. Vet all white like Falcor. Bought a sports car just to get out of the house more. Introverted so I never had to outsource. When you pray to God you receive what you ask for. Live fast, die young, nigga life short. Walk through some doors like damn what's the hype for? Niggas gatekeeping again I ask what's the hype for? Don't let them psych you out of walking through the right doors. This type of life cost me an arm and a limb. Niggas but never better than them. They know you precious, so be careful about who you calling a friend. They know you precious, cause it's levels, and who am I to pretend? Nigga, I'm like that.
Go check out some of the brothers' records. Loot, Authentic. He has a ton of tracks that's vibey, has that feeling to it. And I just appreciate the brother, man. I would like to do a collaboration record with him also. I feel like he's super duper dope, Let's get into the first topic of discussion. I seen Glenn Plummer on some podcast platform. If somebody know what it is, inform me, because, I don't like taking clips from other people's channel and stuff and then not acknowledging who gave the clip to me. So let's get into this gangbanging conversation.
Do you think typecasts like that in roles reinforce stereotypes?
Yeah, man. I mean, okay, take for instance that movie you love so much, Colors, right? I was high top in that movie. When we did that movie, Crips and Bloods were normal in LA. After we did that movie, Crips and Bloods were all over the United States. New York, St. Louis, Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Remember he made that song, something about touchdown in Missouri. Niggas selling crack where they, I forget how it goes, but yeah, Ice Cube made that song back in the day about, bust a U-bone and let's turn these N-words out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after we made that movie, Crips and Bloods were all over the place, man. So do they perpetuate the stereotype? Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. You know what I mean? And I look back and I know that was a great movie and I know people loved it and I know people love calling me high top, but if I knew then what I know now, I never would have taken that part.
Really?
Never would have been the guy perpetuating gang life or glorifying gang life on TV like they did in that movie. It was.
So you think life imitated the art?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yes.
You're
life
good.
imitated the art.
Yeah.
I was high top, man. I go all over the United States, bro, and they still call me high top. One of the reasons why I made South Central. Colors made a life for gangs all over the United States, outside of Los Angeles. South Central kind of put a cap on it, saying, let's leave all that shit over here. Black men, go get your kids out of those gangs, bring them back into the folds of the family and teach them how to do something other than, and now it's like drill rap and they got clips that got 40 bullets in them and 100 bullets, and these kids got automatic pistols and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, whatever.
Right.
The main thing that caught my attention is that he said he never would have done it. He never would have used his artistry to influence the world to do something that he don't agree with in real life. I find it funny when I see 30-plus-year-old men agreeable with certain cultures that is like not beneficial to us as a whole. Gang-banging culture, certain elements of the streets, certain promotion of the drug culture. Even putting it in your raps or whatever. I talk about the street life in my raps, but I talk about the reality of it. I don't talk about the glorification of success from it to influence young people to think that this is okay. And, he said that he remembered the song when Q was talking about touchdown in Missouri. And, Missouri, Oklahoma, Little Rock, Arkansas, was some of the first places to implement the drug game and the gang game to the world outside of LA. I remember the show Banging in Little Rock. I remember we had brothers move to my hometown from Oklahoma and they was claiming gangs, like the real gangs out in California. And I was, confused by that because when I was young, we would represent our neighborhood where we was from and, name it after the projects that we was from. It wasn't no gang or no street in Los Angeles that we was representing because I just couldn't understand it. I never been there before. I may have seen it on TV and was influenced by it, but as I had got older and smart, I was like, why am I wearing Chuck Taylors? Why am I wearing Cortez Nikes and Dickies and got a jerry curl in my head with a West Side hat on? I don't understand it. It just didn't resonate with me. The paper has resonated with me. Getting some money. And I had seen brothers like internalize that lifestyle. And I see it in more ways than just gangbanging also. Because, I identify as foundational Black American, but I see people using it to a detriment now. They ain't talking about it from a lineage-based standpoint. They talking about it as we this and we that, and they the ops, and they ain't standing with us, and we counseling these, you know what I'm saying? It's just certain people want to identify with things, and it's just crazy to me. Like, that let me know that you can't stand on your own, real talk, to be honest with you, when I see that. Let's get into the next clip of what he had to say.
Do you think if South Central were made today that it would be censored, watered down, or even allowed at this point?
I don't think it speaks to the youth well enough to be put out today to have an effect on anything. I got another one though, South Central 2. Remember I said that I'm trying to get produced in so the bottom line is, if we're talking about stereotypes and we're talking about roles and we're talking about television or movies, things like that, it's like I did a movie called South Central, and then it seemed like after I did that movie, all I could land were homeless guy with the dog, homeless guy that lived underground, homeless guy that lived underground that had the dog, the Jamaican homeless, you know what I mean? Like, so
on the other side of that coin, Glenn, you're known for your street realism, your intensity, your authority in roles.
Because if you give me 6 months to put together a character, I'll turn in a young baseball player trying to get to the pros in a movie called Pastime. If you give me time, I can turn in the dancer that danced in Showgirls. You feel me?
Yeah.
If you give me time. But if you give me an audition and tell me I have to be at work the day after tomorrow, you know what I mean? That's what you're going to get, because I can't build anything in a day. I can only bring you me. And if you like me, then you get me.
You know what's crazy about that, or what he's saying? If you give him time, if you let him be himself and all of that, then he can give you his best effort, and he can play a role of significance that can be important and valuable. But you got to think about, the people who invest in people, what they want. They really don't want your artistry. They want to paint an image in a negative light to people. People invest in mind control. They invest in programming the youth to think this is acceptable when it's not. When you listen to the radio station, you're being programmed to what is hot. You're not being programmed to like what you like. The messaging is to get you to react and act a certain way. Movies is to get you to react and act a certain way. It's just, I commend him on what he's trying to do and what he's saying though. But, the reason we ain't seen him in movies that is, of some substance is because that's not what the people want. That's not what's profitable, they feel like also. But before I continue on and move along with that conversation, and we're going to keep it in the West Coast, I want to say, the influence of Menace to Society, South Central, Colors, even the movie New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, those movies, they changed the trajectory of Black life. Because before that, you had the pimp movies, the Dolomites, the Mac, and all of this. You see, when they invest in us, the people that's over the music and the movie industries, they only invest in the bad part. When do we see the good part of some other ethnicity investing in our creativity? When do they ever show anything good? They feel like the good stuff ain't even profitable. So that's just interesting as I age and look at that. I would like to know y'all thoughts in the comment section below. but we're going to keep it moving. We're going to move forward. We're going to react to this new Nipsey Hussle song because, you know, this is the first posthumous record that has been released. Salute the Black Sam opening up the restaurants, continuing on with the merchandise though. But, you know, we want to know where the music at. Nip Hussle fans, he released the classic before his untimely passing and him losing his life. We want to know where the music at. Let's check out this record, new Nip Hussle. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, the guy that's featured in that, I heard Black Sam talk about him a lot and saying that him and Nip had a collaborative project that they was going to release together. I feel like that's a decent record. I think Nip got more records in the tuck that's better than that. For some reason, I feel like he got some records in the tuck that's better than that. It has been 7 years. 2019. God, time flying. It don't even seem like it been 7 years since the passing of Nipsey Hussle, man. Hell of an artist. One of the bars I actually didn't like, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. He said, "If I crash, don't save me." Damn. You know, he already passed away. That's kind of a hard bar to release to the world as the first time hearing him since his death. And what's taking so long with the music? There isn't any other creators in his circle that could piece it together or put it together accurately to create that real sound of Nipsey Hussle. It's just interesting, man. I like the production. I don't know who made that beat or whatever, though, but I like the production from that track. I like the track, though, but that one bar might be the reason why I don't go back to it. And I'm going to check out that young brother who is featured on the track, and we're going to continue on with researching and seeing if more is to come from Nipsey Hussle, because he was a phenomenal artist and just an inspirational person at the end of the day for that street culture. You know, I don't want to do too much, but for that street culture, we're going to keep it West Coast still. I got a freestyle that I want to highlight. You know, I've done all the Red Bull freestyles, from the Red Man, the Method Man freestyle, from the Locks freestyle to Mozzie and YG freestyle, to the Big Sean freestyle. You know, this one is Ab-Soul though. Ab-Soul, I feel like he don't get the credit he deserves lyrically. But you know, a lot of people that commentate on hip hop, they give him the credit he deserves. But I don't hear nobody ride around bumping Ab-Soul like that or mentioning his name when he released projects. And to me, he's a hell of a rapper. Real talk. Let's get into this release from Red Bull, 64 bars with Ab-Soul. Let's go.
Knowledge reigns supreme too. Hey, man, listen close. Carson in the motherfucking shoot. Del Lamo, watch your motherfucking shoot. East side, bitch. West Sea and Falia near. Best bow down, the connection extensive. A lot of wigs split for niggas to get ahead. Original premise was simply protecting each other from the feds. Huey, Bob, and Fred did what they could, but of course, the invisible hands had other plans. Playing artillery and narcotics up in the hood. In hindsight, that strategy was brilliant, like black and white, red and blue. Wait, racism rewritten in different hues? We went from blood cousins to cousin blood, manipulative as it was. I can't front hit, boy. That shit was creative as fuck. Jake really had it mapped, no doubt. Crustaceans in a bucket ain't gon' hold each other down. They only gon' hold each other down, but only for so long, no. Dead homies, homie, hold on, yo. Ooh, cause where was you and me, Rock, Dot, and Q? Was living in the stew, fighting over one mic, 2 or 3 records a night, sleeping on the floor. While y'all was sleeping on the floor, Wave bought the boat, Punchino was like Xavier. Dave had a vision, Ali ears were becoming an engine. Topper silently plotting behind the scenes. Moowap ain't know that he was the future yet. Mac had personality that the world would have to see. Raised broad shootouts, losses, hard drive crashes, labels passing. What was supposed to discourage us only enhanced the passion. Boss Dog gave us 1 more year to make it happen. We didn't flinch, just went and got this bitch cracking. So call us the gods of the blog era that brought all of y'all terror. The song should've came with pallbearers. Unifying the gangs, power rules and Crips were getting the law. We led by example on the low. High power was an intelligent gamble. Black hippie was way too much for the game to handle, gang. A collective, you'll never get a game. Fingers crossed behind my back. I'm tricky like that. Amen. Ab-Soul, Lieutenant of the lyrical miracle, spiritual shit. My presence is pivotal, essence is imminent. In summation, I did it my way. A status that was naturally cultivated. No publicity related stunts, gimmicks, or cosplay. Name rang from a SoCal suburb all the way to Johannesburg. That's my word. And I did all that off words. No Grammy awards or plaques on my wall. Well, not without one of the homies' names, of course. But hey, my bed is made and I ain't slept in days. Racking my brain trying to come up what it's gonna take for a youngin' from DA to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Should've did it with a mask like Doom and Sia. Only need your attention and praise when gracing a stage. And to be paid what I weigh. I don't play about my paintings nor of my value. Since 2010 I've been a new Rakim. And I know you got soul somewhere on one of your lists. Hence, pump up the motherfucking volume as loud as you're allowed to. So low. Ho. Yo. The legendary hit boy on the ones and twos. Red Bull, 6'4", like the old school. I'm just the old soul in new shoe. Who's the boat? You choose. Church on the move.
Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. You know, that felt good, man. You know, hip hop is in a state to where it's been dark. It's been all about dissing. It's been about I'm better than you. Forget you niggas over here. That felt good. Salute to Hit Boy one more time too. Also, Hit Boy, Ab-Soul, Red Bull. You know, when Hit Boy did the verses with Mike Will Made It, it gave me a different perception of Hit Boy, even though Hit Boy is one of the best to do it. I feel like verses is not for everybody. His production is not a versus style, single style production. And Hit Boy is one of the best. You know, he got production on songs that is timeless records. But I got a question for y'all. Is that beat switching getting old? To be honest with y'all, real talk, because I listened to Drake album and it took me a while to grasp it because of all of the beat switching. Like the first 8 songs or 10 songs, the beat switched, so it made it feel like 20 songs. It makes the song longer. On a freestyle, I think that is, you know, dope. But are we getting tired of the beat switching? You know, Meek Mill, when he came out with Dreams and Nightmares, people gravitated to that so much that I think that they don't worn it out. Dreams and Nightmares is about 12, 13 years old also, and people still trying to use that formula to transfer energy or change up the energy mid-song. You know, it's just interesting to see that. The last thing I want to say about this 64 bars thing is that, you know, Black Hippie, Kendrick Lamar, Absol is one of the members, if people don't know about that. J-Rock, Schoolboy Q. Is it past due or is it gone and we ain't getting it? You know, I want the Black Hippie album still. I want a cohesive body of work, a classic body of work from them 4 brothers, like how the Hot Boys did with Cash Money. I need that body of work, even if it's on Doc record label. It don't have to be on Top Dog record label. Are we ever gonna get that? Are them niggas ever gonna put a cohesive body of work together or nah? You know what I'm saying? We looking forward to it. We would like to hear it as supporters of y'all music. Real spill, man. That's just something that I feel like the culture needs. Kendrick, you can take a break off of your projects, man, and get with these other 3 brothers and create us a classic, man, a group effort. Let me play one of my records and promote my music before we get back into the conversation. After I play the record, we're going to get into the Dame Dash response to Jay-Z's freestyle. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is The Opportunist. It's on all platforms right now. You know, everybody knows an opportunist, a person that's only there for the opportunity. Real talk. Let's get into the record.
Riding through the city, you know we in something nice. Michelin star dinner, cook her less about the price. Celebrate the wins, celebrate the losses. A player stay cautious, they hate when you ballin'. Made the lames nauseous, they sick of the floss. And I'm still kicking shit like a nigga Bruce Lee. Getting to this paper, my only decree. A representative for East Tennessee. My prime on the grind, I had them 20 apiece. Made the paper increase, now we out of their reach. Moving discreet, very unique. They pockets petite, I'm feeling complete. Made it out the streets, I was tired of losing. Had to cut off the opportunists. That's most likely. They only hit you up when you're shining. Never hit you up when you're hit you up. They only hit me up when we're shining. Never hit me up when we're grinding. They only hit you up when you're shining. Never hit you up when you're hit you up. Never hit me up when we.
Yeah. Go check out my record, man, The Opportunist. The album, If Not Me, Then Who, is dropping 9/11/2026. Something that you're not going to want to miss. We working towards making it a double album. I'm going to announce if it is or if it isn't here soon on the channel, man. I'm trying my best to create the highest quality content so I can have something that is lasting for the family. Real talk. You know, Jay-Z freestyle got everybody in a frenzy. Everybody who he mentioned has responded. Even Drake has responded. Jaguar Wright responded. Everybody who he mentioned, they back outside, they ready to talk. But what's crazy to me is that You know, people dislike Jay-Z so much, they didn't expect him to ever respond to the slander that was on his name. You know, the people who he mentioned, they was all slandering his name for years. So when he responds, the culture is upset that he even had a response. Like he should be bigger than that. He should never say anything about these people. It comes to a point to where people start talking about your family, your kids, your wife. And I feel like some of this shit had to be acknowledged. Real talk. But let's get into what Dame Dash had to say, his response for it, and we're going to converse a little bit. Let's go.
I would prefer the version of Jay that would have said something more clever. And that's not the version of Jay that I would have ever signed. And I felt bad because I was like, it must be embarrassing for him to now have to be on that stage, not the same version of himself, and still have to work at that age because he has to. So that was the brother in me, like, damn, I know that because I know him, that when we were younger, when he was this age, he hated talking to people and doing he was retiring since Reasonable Doubt. For him to have to come outside 20 years later, I just felt kind of like embarrassed for him a little bit because we all know him. And then the funny nigga in me, I couldn't even hear the lyrics because the hairstyle was crazy. And I was like, why would they let him come outside like that? Like, I'm gonna, cause to me, it's like, that shit is funny. And there should be jokes for that hairstyle. And if like everyone around him that loves him didn't laugh and be like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, why would he do that? Like, we want to see, and I'm going to tell, because I still care about JJ. When you do Yankee Stadium, I need you to get a Caesar. I need you to put the Yankee hat on and do the thing to the side. That's what we want to see. We want to see chuckers. We want to see some jewelry. We don't want to see this version of you. I know I don't. That version of The Roc was painful and hard to look at. Pause.
Pause. You know, I like Dame Dash for all he has contributed to hip-hop culture. All the commentary that he has been contributing as of the last decade. But, you know, I see a lot of people talking about the way that Jay-Z presented himself when he came up on stage. As an artist myself, you know, freedom to do whatever you want to has a value to it. You know, why do you care how the next man look? That's borderline pause itself. Dame, you talking about this man and you concerned about his look. He also said that Jay-Z still had to work. Him going up on stage is something that Dame views as work. He said that Jay been wanting to retire since his initial debut album, Reasonable Doubt, and he know that because he knows him. But, you know, Jay was also on stage saying, this feels good. I miss doing this. I don't view it as work for some reason, you know. I ain't seen Jay-Z perform in I don't know when. Probably since Beyonce was on tour and they making millions performing. I don't view it as work. I view it as, you know, you doing your thing. You presenting something. I feel like it's a promotion to set up something to make some money. That's what I feel like. It's a promotion to get his name back into the algorithm in case he release an album, and it put the internet in a frenzy. I ain't taking Jay-Z's side neither. It's just from my view of it. He said that he was embarrassed. He wished that Jay would have been more clever. He was embarrassed because of his look. He wanted to see him differently. Come as you are. You know, the last concert I went to was, dang, it's almost going on 3 years, and I got some concerts I want to go to this year. It's a lot of concerts coming to Charlotte, the Wale, the J. Cole's, the, T.I. coming to town. It's a few artists that I want to just go check out and sit in that front row and just relax and see them kick their shit. But, when I went to the Future concert, he came out with a wife beater on and some regular outfits with no chains and stuff on. It's just, dang, we living in different times, dog, and I think that you missing it at the end of the day because I ain't going to talk about your look. Real talk in that interview. I understand him responding because Jay-Z mentioned his name, but you had been monetizing his name for over 10 years, dog. Damn. Why that part at? You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this clip where he said something about, he acknowledged that Jay dished Drake. He said this is how he feel if they got into a sparring match.
Speaking of Drake, how you feel about him and Jay taking shots at each other?
I think Drake's going to toast him. I'm looking forward to it. If Drake doesn't kill him, then he's out of here. This is easy work for Drake. I don't know, but something's happening. I don't know. Maybe he's baiting him. Maybe he has something on him. But I believe Drake's going to, because you see, Drake's relentless. Like I said, I don't think Drake can handle Kendrick, but I think he'll just, Jay's like sick. He's an old man. Like the other day, this dude came in here and he acted inappropriately, but he was 80. And I had to tell him, I'm like, bro, 40 years ago, I would have had to fuck you up, but you're 80. So it's like, it's almost going to be like abusive for Drake to punish this like that. It's basically based on what I just saw. He needs to go to like he needs to get back in rock star shape. He don't got the breath like he used to. Pause. Like not even, he wasn't that, I think I'm curious to see what Drake's going to do. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what Nicki Minaj is going to do. These are all people that actually can rap these days. They can still rap. I know for sure Big Daddy Kane will kill Jay right now. You saw once they said that shit, Big Daddy Kane was like, blah, 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 blah. No dissing nobody, no nothing. Just still Big Daddy Kane. Jay can't do that no more. And then I know, like, I felt like, and I don't know if it was AI or something, but when he actually said the rhyme, I saw people booing. I didn't see this crowd go crazy like it was a mic drop. I think people were like, the teeth. This nigga I got Dr. I can guarantee you my teeth are better than Jay's.
Oh, hell nah, man. Why we concerned about teeth? The smelling of his breath, his hairstyle. Y'all Harlem niggas is different. Y'all always worried about who the cutest is up there. Y'all Harlem brothers is different. I want to address this before I move along in the conversation and the topics of the show. He said that Jay-Z is easy work for Drake. I think that people ran to the internet to react to Jay-Z's freestyle and his performance before they deciphered the bars. They hadn't even deciphered the bars yet and actually knew what was said. That's how I know how y'all listen to hip hop. And when I see people talk about Jay's lyrics was garbage, not defending Jay-Z, again, that make me question how y'all listen to rap and how y'all prioritize rap, especially from rappers. If I see rappers talking about that freestyle was garbage, his energy may have been lackluster at the beginning. He was, not in rare form. He ain't rapped in a decade. But as he picked up and started catching his swag and you went back and listened to what was actually being said, that shit was phenomenal. Real talk, that was a phenomenal job. He called Kendrick Lamar Kendall and then said that what Drake could do to Jay-Z would be abusive because Jay-Z is old. One thing I want to tell y'all about aging in hip hop and staying sharp mentally that I'm noticing about myself also as I'm creating. Life experiences and knowledge, having an abundance of knowledge helps you so much during the writing process of how to break down bars and stuff. I never seen Jay-Z really smoke and end no careers like how 50 Cent did. But I don't think that he would be easy work for Drake. And I don't think Drake would be easy work for Jay-Z, because Drake is battle tested. He's in rare form. He ready to go. He just released his album. You know, so I did hear him boo a little bit. You know, I did hear him boo. I don't know what they was booing for, but I heard boo, boo, a little bit of boos. It might have been AI, like Dame said, but I heard some boos also. He addressed the Big Daddy Kane situation, and he acknowledged that what Big Daddy Kane did was good, but discredited what Jay-Z had done. Dame Dash, you are the ultimate hater, not the ultimate hustler. You came back to the internet a day after the freestyle and disrespected Jay-Z in a sad way after you've been talking about this man for 10 years and expected him not to say anything about you. And real talk, he didn't even give you the credit to say your name. He said the Chatty Patty. So you acknowledging that was you, the Chatty Patty. He didn't say Dame Dash, he said the Chatty Patty. Down on his luck again. You know, you acknowledging that he mentioned you, so you must be the Chatty Patty. I'm off of this topic. We're going to move along in the conversation. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you ain't hit the like button yet, smack yourself and hit the like button. Real talk, man. I got another conversation I want to address. We're going to get into a little bit of news, things that's been happening in the news lately. And they said that they was creating a task force for graduation celebrations because of people dancing and acting out of character after they graduate. Now, is this racist? Because I know people act different in different cultures. Or is this normal? Should this happen? Should you have some coof and decorum when you graduate? Because graduation, it ain't the ending point. It's the beginning point of life. Is it really a need to celebrate just because you graduated? Let's get into the clip.
Videos on social media all over the top dance celebrations during some high schools' graduations. Some say they are getting out of control and creating distractions, which is why EBR school officials created a task force to discuss possible new guidelines governing dancing during graduation ceremonies. This conversation comes just 1 week after graduation was cut short at McKinley High School because of these types of celebrations. News Leah Williams reports.
Videos like this one.
Look at that,
showing Baton Rouge high school students dancing around the stage at graduation have gone viral, racking up millions of views on social media.
If I were graduating tomorrow, I would be in one of those videos too, dancing like anybody else.
At McKinley High School's graduation,
you're about to have graduation ended.
School officials cut the ceremony short when several students started dancing with their diplomas. As a result, students never got the chance to turn their tassels, a symbolic moment marking their transition from student to graduate.
Parents, you can return to your vehicles. Students, graduation is over.
Some people I spoke to agree that the principal's actions were justified, saying this type of dancing can take away from the ceremony and become disruptive.
I get it, the kids want to have fun, but maybe they should have a little dance for them after. I think they get a little too wild.
Other people took a different view, saying these kinds of celebrations are part of Baton Rouge culture.
People who live here know this.
For me, this is an awesome thing because I didn't graduate. For them to walk across there and to be excited about it,
Superintendent Lamont Cole announced this morning on WBRZ's Tune In morning show that he wants to create a task force to study the issue and find balance between the 2 points of view.
Convene some conversations with community members on both sides of the argument.
Carletta Powell, there's a time and place, says the district should consider building a celebration into the program itself, giving students time to dance after officials hand out diplomas.
They are able to turn their tassels, and then we do allow them to do their stroll. So I think it was put in the process. I think it's definitely can be implemented.
Superintendent Cole hopes to bring people together and resolve this issue before next year's EBR graduations. In Baton Rouge, Leah Williams, WBRZ News 2. News 2.
Let me address something. You know, I'm not a college graduate. I didn't graduate from nothing, but in life, I went and got some certificates and furthered education in multiple ways, you know. It's just, is this something to celebrate, to be excited about, all the work that you put in over the years to get out of that situation with accomplishing, you know, the ultimate goal of graduation? Is the brother Cole, the superintendent, a coon because he's black? He should understand the culture. He should understand that is our culture and that's how we get busy. We dance and we celebrate and stuff like that. Or is it too much? I need to be informed on this. You know, Baton Rouge also is an interesting place, especially when I look at the rappers and stuff from there. NBA Youngboy and all them boys down there. They're a little wild. They're a little wild down there, Bootsy and Webby and all them boys. They wild. So it's just a different culture. When I think about my nephew graduation, as I went to last year, it was so calm and cool, and it wasn't no dancing. All the kids had a lot of coof. It was outside though, at the football field, and they was just having a good time celebrating life, and they just went and got their graduation slip, the tassel or whatever it is, and they kept it moving, and they went back to the area that their families was at. What should be done about this? I need to be educated in the comment section. I just wanted to pull that topic up to have a conversation about, you know, what is that anyway? Why are they doing that? If some young individuals watching this podcast, educate me on that. Because I'm kind of lost for words, to be honest with you. We're going to move along. Something is being done in D.C. with parents. You know, this is kind of an old conversation, but I want to bring it to my platform and talk about it because we're talking about graduation and kids and stuff and parents being held responsible for their kids' actions. They are implementing this in D.C., and I think that if it's successful in D.C., they will continue to do this nationwide also. So parents, check this out.
And thank you for being with us here at 10 o'clock. I'm Josh Chapin, D.C.'s top prosecutor, rolling out a new plan to crack down on juvenile crime as we get closer to summer break. The U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, says her office will start charging parents if their kids are involved in so-called teen takeovers.
My office will aggressively prosecute parents under D.C.'s curfew law. And the specific statute that we will use is a violation of D.C. Code 22-811. This statute makes it unlawful for an adult to enable, facilitate, or permit a minor to engage in delinquent acts. The penalty is up to 6 months imprisonment.
Now, this is an issue we have covered extensively, notably in Navy Yard, where 7 News has seen hundreds of teens gathering on the weekends, getting into fights, and in some cases, assaulting police officers. Our Felicia Ashley went into the community tonight, got reaction from people in Navy Yard.
I went back to the neighborhood commissioners and parents who said that they wanted something done after seeing some of the destructive behavior when swarms of teens and kids would flood to Navy Yard. U.S. Attorney Pirro said this is the first weekend that they could start prosecuting the parents. Is this that accountability you all were looking for?
Not exactly. I think it's federal overreach. You know, the accountability that I was talking about really needs to happen on a local level. Like we need to start investing more in our communities and our families.
Is this the answer you were looking for?
It is. I'm honestly happy with the accountability piece of this when it comes to parental accountability, because we've dealt with this now for a year.
Nick Wilson is a parent of teens and a neighborhood commissioner in Navy Yard.
One, we don't want the teens coming in and committing crimes and causing troubles. But also, one of the things that we found out when we talk to teens is sometimes coming out is better than what's going on in their households.
Edward Daniels is also a commissioner who says he's for Piro's actions, but not the method.
Her means of addressing the situation, I think that we can address this with local resources, meaning MPD. I don't think that we need federal resources.
If you drop your kid off and you fail to supervise them, or you let them skip school to join the chaos, you are going to face fines, court-ordered classes, and possible jail time.
Policing and putting people in jail is actually kind of how we got to where we're at now. There's no one at home because they got locked up and thrown in jail. We're not going to police our way out of this situation.
I agree with holding parents accountable for the activity of their kids, especially those that have just turned a blind eye to what the kids are doing.
We have hardworking moms and dads. I don't feel like they need to be punished because they're working hard, a 9 to 5 or sometimes a 4 to 12 or whatever it happens to be.
And it sends a clear message to the parents that you must supervise your kids or face criminal consequences.
Piro said parents could spend up to 6 months in jail, and she said it would be under the charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. For now, reporting from Navy Yard in Southeast D.C., Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
You know, I have a whole totally different take about this topic of discussion now after some time has passed. And I think after looking at that Baton Rouge video that we played, and they trying to create a task force for graduation celebrations, I feel like, you know, a lot of these kids are hyped up off sugar, bad foods, and, fake food that we consuming and stuff like that. And they are just acting out of character. You know, the government has to take some accountability and some responsibility for this. They want to punish the parents, but they don't want to punish themselves for creating these harsh conditions and this high price of living. That's in D.C., one of the most expensive cities in the United States. You know, people are living harsh there. People are living an unrealistic lifestyle there. They can go south and live a better quality of life, but they might just like their hometown. To charge individuals and to not assist individuals, because in D.C., it's not no fresh grocery stores neither. Like, if you ever been there, you don't see Publix on every corner in D.C., or you don't see no Sprouts or no Whole Foods, no organic grocery stores. They just got supermarkets in D.C. A lot of those people are eating bad things. A lot of those people are ingesting parasites and stuff like that. Not to talk bad about D.C., because it's one of my favorite cities in the United States. It's just to punish people and create those harsh conditions for the people. You know, that's foul. That's all I'm going to say. That's foul. You know, we're going to move along in the conversation. I got one more topic of discussion, then I'm up off of this thing, man. Make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you can check out the commentary. I appreciate everybody. We're going to get into this. 50 Cent addresses this sex tape that was released on X of his baby mama Daphne and Diddy and some guy in the video. I don't know his name. I didn't watch the video. I seen a lot of people talk about the video. Lord Jamar was saying on Vlad TV that, you know, most of the time when people view sexual tapes or whatever, they are looking at the woman. They said Diddy was filming the tape and he had the camera on the man. Thank God I didn't see that. I don't want to see none of this foolishness or whatever, though. But, you know, 50 put the documentary out on Diddy. A lot of people were saying that he was hurt because of what had happened with his baby mama. And his baby mama being on Diddy's side, she not testifying against Diddy or none of that. Diddy still paying her bills while he's locked up. So he finally responded to that tape being released. Let's listen to it.
You see the first tape, man. There's a lot of tapes out there, bro.
Oh my God.
None of that ain't got nothing to do with none of the parties. What you're looking at right now is separate. They feel like it's special because it's my son's mom in the actual tape. But we haven't had any intimacy for 12 years. She could be out back with a dog for all I care. To be honest with you, and she's the only person that we didn't get into the documentary that I wish we did, because it would be the person that's there that wasn't a victim.
That wasn't a victim?
No. See, when you think of women, we go women empowerment and for women. But let's not forget that there's some hoes. Right?
And predators.
No, let's just realize that that's there. This exists. So there's people that are there and they're looking for these things. Like they look for that. So she's just getting what she actually would. Have you met it? At the present moment, check out the OnlyFans, man. It's up 85%. It's up 85%.
Well, let's talk about
currently
women.
Works, so she's achieving what she's after. Trust me.
I just want to say about Daphne that we did reach out to Daphne. She was not in the film for her. That was her own choice to not be in this film.
50 ain't capped though. Just being honest with y'all, he didn't cap one time. What's this on my screen? She's achieving what she's after. I was doing some research on this. I seen images of her with Jason Derulo. I seen images of her with Diddy, with 50 Cent, with all types of celebrities. If you go to Daphne's Instagram, she's still posting sexual content. She's achieving what she's after, the bag. And she getting the bag. But one thing that I can say about 50, and I can say about hip-hop culture in totality right now, y'all get a little bit of money and y'all turn straight into tricks. Rest in peace to Pimp C. He would be he'll be on the internet going crazy right now if he's seen these times and we listen to these rappers talking about spending millions on these women. That ain't worth it. Now you discussed it because she was with Diddy. Now you discussed it because the sex tape is out. But that is your baby mama. You created life with her. Oh my God. Let's read the statement that Daphne put out. I just got to read it to y'all, and check it out. This is just very interesting to me. Real talk, dog. She said, everybody plays the fool sometimes, and I have been the biggest fool. I just wanted my man at the time to be happy and satisfied. I wanted to fulfill all of his desires, even if that meant breaking my own boundaries. I deeply loved him, and I believed he loved me too. It's still so painful for me to process the harsh reality and truth of that relationship. But as time passes and in quiet moments, I realized that it was far from love. The recent leak was a tape I never consented to being filmed on, and I was blackmailed by the person in the video and was threatened that if I didn't give him a lump sum of money, that they would leak it on the web. I almost gave in to this demand, and once I didn't, the person eventually sold the tape to a giant media outlet. The media outlet called me one day and said they had the tape and asked if I had any comment before the release. It was the first time I had ever fainted in my life. Let me address that part and then I'm going to continue reading on. Is this a cry for sympathy? Do she want somebody to sympathize with her? Talking about she was willing to do things for Diddy, even though they was against her morals and her integrity. No, you was willing to do things for the bag against your morals and integrity, and you still will sell your flesh because you're doing it now today, and you probably will attract another trick. Let's continue reading. Once the media company understood the tape they purchased was revenge porn and in an extortion scheme, they backed off from broadcasting it. I know they are probably reading this, and I want to say thank you for doing the right thing. Even though years later, it comes back to haunt me again. It took me all day to find the courage to rewatch my abuse. Having to watch this tape was triggering and painful because I knew the inner turmoil and pressures I felt in those moments. I was not and was never in my right mind throughout the entirety of that relationship. Seeing myself so lost is excruciating. I just want to hold that girl in that room and get her out of there and tell her that wasn't love and she didn't need to do this for love. My heart is breaking as I type this. For love? For love. If you was really seeking love, shawty, you would have married the janitor at the high school down the street. Real talk. You didn't need to do this for love. If you are if somebody in a if you in a females, I'm starting to stutter and I don't even stutter. If you in a relationship with a man and he asks you to do something with another man, that's your sign right there that is not love. Because if a man loves you, he wants to keep you to himself. Come on, man. Ain't no is people really this slow? I wish so many things were different, but I can't take back the hands of time. I can only continue to move forward and slowly learn to love and trust myself again. I want to love and protect myself so much that I will never come across such a harmful environment again. This is the first time that I have ever felt a part of my own body and that my body belongs to me. I am precious. I am special. I am worthy. This I promise to hold true in my heart for the woman I am becoming and for the woman I once lost. Hey, let's give her a round of applause for that cap ass shit she talking about, man. That paper, boy, that paper be influencing folk, boy. I want to read this also because, you know, not in defense of Diddy, but these women that participated in these activities, to me, was not the holiest of women. Just real talk. Hot New Hip Hop, this is who it's according to this article. Cassie has moved out of the United States after $20 million Diddy settlement. Why did she move? That's what I need to know. I ain't even going to read this whole thing. I just need to know, why did she move? New court documents reveal that Cassie Ventura does not plan on returning to the United States anytime soon. It's been a boring ordeal for Cassie Ventura throughout her career, but these last few years have been devastating. After spending more than a decade in a relationship with Sean Diddy Combs, Ventura became central in a legal and cultural reckoning that transformed how the music industry viewed one of its most powerful executives. Her 2023 lawsuit accused Combs of years of abuse and control, allegations that were settled within 24 hours for a reported $20 million, but ultimately opened the door for dozens of additional claims against the Bad Boy founder. Okay. Months later, the release of the hotel footage, we're going to skip past that. We already know about that highly publicized legal battle that she had, you know, and all of this old type of stuff. So we're gonna go on past that. I want to see why she. Okay, here it is, and then I'm gone. Cassie and her family relocate. Her testimony during Combs' criminal proceedings offered further insight into the emotional toll of the relationship, forcing her to revisit some of the most painful moments of her life in a public setting. Now TMZ reports that Ventura has relocated outside of the United States following her reported settlement payout. The outlet claims to have obtained court documents related to a lawsuit involving Cassie and Clayton Howard, a male escort. So one of them niggas who Diddy was paying to come in there, they want some money now. Why they want some money? You know, what did Cassie do? What did she agree to? I reside outside of the United States. I do not intend to move back to the United States, the filing read. Additionally, it states, she said, I am a citizen of the United States. I am not a resident of the state of California. Her location was not revealed, but TMZ reports that she requested to attend court in New York, where her legal team is based, rather than return to California. Meanwhile, Howard sued Cassie, alleging that he impregnated her, that she hired him for Diddy's freak-offs, and that she gave him a STD. However, Cassie claims that after her lawsuit against Diddy was filed in 2023, Howard sent her husband a supportive message. The case is ongoing. You know, she got the hell up out of there, and I don't blame her. Keep your paper shawty. You know, You work hard for it. Keep your paper shorty. But, you know, you're not innocent in all of this. This lady, Daphne, she wants to be portrayed as innocent in all of this also. And she contributed to the foolishness. And Diddy is locked up for some foolishness. The Mann Act of 1910. In closing to this podcast, man, boy, influence, investment, and ignorance is running rampant in this world. Make sure you have control of your thoughts, your mind, and don't allow people to program you on what's valuable. You value what you value. Real talk. Peace, love, plenty, abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. And I'm gone. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.